How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of ranking every single Megadeth song ever. A quick recap of the ranking process in these videos. I went through every song Megadeth has released on an album, studio album, live album if it's a separate song, except for It's Electric, that's not really Megadeth. But I went through each album, ranked each song individually among their album, and among all other songs they've released. So there's going to be two lists within this one. The songs individually, and then once I'm done, I'm going to reveal my new rankings of every Megadeth album of all time as by the song average. So adding up how many songs I got, dividing up, to get the average, and then we're going to go from there. And then we're going to compare it to my original rankings and see how things work. It'll make sense as we go along. Also, I've combined songs if they are an intro to something. So like, Into the Arena and then Crush 'Em. I'm ranking those as one song because really they're one song. Also, the first few videos are going to be a little bit, not going to have too much on each song because, as you can see, I'm ranking 175 to 131, I believe, in this video. So I'm not going to have too much each song because these are the songs, they're down bottom of the list. But when we get to these higher ranking songs, I'm going to be taking much more time. We're going to have about 20 songs per list, and then the top 10 is going to be 10 songs. Without further ado, here we go. No, just no. I said it before, and I will say it again. I despise this song. There is nothing redeemable about it. Moving on. It's literally just a guitar riff and a distant vocal speech. Says a lot that this is over a full-fledged song. The first half of this duo is much higher. This half, though, is mostly forgettable. The main riff is okay, but it also just sounds like Tommy Boy's first riff. The vocals sound like Dave is trying to sing Loch Ness from Judas Priest, which is funny because this song came out before Loch Ness. That doesn't matter. The chorus is complete trash, though. The live version from Argentina is great. The recorded version of this should have stayed home in the first place. The opening riff and vocals sound like Dave just hit record and then just did something random. Me no like. It gets better as it goes along, but it's mostly a forgettable song on a mostly forgettable album. Well, I won't be there to listen to it. I always found this song annoying. The final act of the song, though, does sound actually pretty good, especially again from the Argentina show. That moment is that. Have I mentioned how much I love that concert? Meh. Big stinking pile of meh. The drums are way too loud. That's the only part that's really worth noting. The song they play as their outros, and it's ranked ahead of 6 full-fledged songs. And it's an instrumental. Neat. It sounds like it's going someplace so much cooler, but it's compressed so much that it lacks the impact that they were going for with, the really punchy rhythm. Filler tracks are sometimes the best songs of the album, sitting there as little sleepers until you finally get your full hands on the full release. Not with this one. I know that they were experimenting at the time with other genres and just want to see how far they could stretch it. This is where the rubber snaps. Shame, as the bridges are really good, but the chorus kills all momentum. This song had potential for greatness. If it was a few BPM quicker, remove the needless vocal additions, and rework parts of the chorus, it could have been a really killer track. Has a great build-up, but then is dead on arrival. It just tries way too hard and just screams in the chorus. Same as the title track. At the start, it sounds awesome, and then Dave tries to capture his classic, speak over vocals, and he just sounds extremely uninspired. It does get better slowly as the song progresses, but by the end you just don't care anymore. This song is okay. The chorus has a very country twang to it. The song in its entirety actually has a very dark country vibe to it. While the instrumentation in the verse is very cheesy, the vocal melody is very chill. The chorus is very solid though, and it's the highlight of the song. This song is weird. It has a very strange cadence to it. The thing that saves this song though is a little swinging guitar melody during the chorus. The song ranks higher because the music is great rhythms, but the vocals, well, drive me crazy. There's nothing too shiny about this one. It exists, and I bet many people have even heard it before. Get the war chest if you still can. It's not bad. It actually has some pretty kick-ass riffs in it, but I'd rather listen to the Finger 11 song of the same name. "13" was such a polarizing album. The studio wrecked any chances it had of being, really great. While I like a lot of the re-recordings and then songs included from others, projects, the rest of the album sounds like filler. This being the worst of them. It's not bad, it's just not good. However, the chorus does have one solid rhythm. It would have been so much better with an actual guitar tone, not whatever this was supposed to be. 7 has some elements of the early 90s, but that thin tin bin sin of a tone just killed it. The original cover that made everyone go "Buh?" and well, it got them in trouble. It's super thrashy and fun, and sounds like something that would have been on the Children of Bodom cover album. And would you have not heard that? You need to check it out. You never thought you'd hear before, Frog Leap Studios, Britney Spears, and Eddie frickin' Murphy turned into metal. But beyond that little quirk, it's still odd. The lowest ranking Memoir song. It's a good, solid song that does enact a bit of feels if you really listen to it. But with that, it's also just as easy to ignore as a background song. Don't drink and drive. If you do, you're stupid. No excuses, just don't do it. Wait, this is a ranking, not a PSA. Song's good and fun, but seriously, don't be a moron. The song has an awesome shred intro, a cool riff, and a badass lick to build off of it. The verse is classic riff solo formula that goes back and forth and just yes! The chorus burns it all to the ground. Ugh. This song only outranks Burns because the music is solid throughout. But my god, the vocals are built for war! Annoying, and sound like they are written by a 12-year-old. Built for war! High energy level performance back in the days when Dave's live voice was still able to maintain the high notes at the same level of intensity they were recorded at. It's fun. Check it out. The opening riff has a severe flavor of Sabbath. The vocal melody could have been better in the verse, but it is serviceable. What it all does though is pull off an atmosphere that is actually very haunting. This kicks ass, creepy as hell vocals, loud thumping bass that drills its way into your ears, and drums perfectly accenting it. But at the end of the day, it is just bass. I could be wrong, but I think this evolved, or rather devolved as a shadow of its former self. It changed into the clean section of Trust. It's a beautiful instrumentation with great playing throughout. It goes to show that if you have not done so already, go back and check out the remasters or, on Spotify, and check out the demos and unreleased tracks. There are some true hidden gems in there. The music is awesome. Almost everything is on point. But at the same time, the song is so freaking stupid. Awesome, but stupid.
He's so cool, but he's so goddamn dumb.
Great messages, but still stupid. They put the wrong version on the album. We'll go over it later. They put the wrong version on the album. We'll go over it later. If the recorded version of this sounded much closer to the live version from the Rude Awakening DVD, this song would have ranked a lot higher. Dave's vocals on the recording are honestly terrible, especially in the harmony after the chorus. People give this song and the entire album a bad rap. But you know what? Shush! This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. I haven't done that in forever. Just give it a chance. The song perfectly fits the subject matter and has a great bounce to it. It's story time! As it sounds like he's reading off a Shakespearean play to the listeners. The main reason why the song is so high though is the bridge and chorus has really resonated well. Not usually a huge fan of their overly ballady songs, but this one's not so bad. Just like the points, the song doesn't matter. I'm just kidding, or am I? In all seriousness though, this sounds like a song Dave wrote back in his early days, because it's fitting for a guy in his late teens or early 20s, not a dude who's old enough to be someone's grandpa. And it's just silly. So that's the first episode of the Megadeth rankings. We'll have another one next week. It's going to be a long ride, about 8 weeks worth. And again, stay tuned to the very end. We'll be ranking all the albums. Risk is almost out already. I defend the crap out of that album. It's already down to its last 2 songs. But how high will they rank? Stay tuned to find out. Stay tuned in next week. If you like this content, like, comment, subscribe, share me with your friends. Tell me down in the comments how much of a moron I am. Was your favorite song on this part list? If it is, I'm not sorry, because you have terrible taste in Megadeth songs. I'm kidding. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's what this whole video is about. But seriously, if you like Super Collider, we can't be friends. Take care. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of ranking every Megadeth song of all time. If you missed part 1, whatever. If you missed part 1, right here, or in the description, or maybe in the comments, or wait to the end of the video, it'll be linked. But here we go. We're not going to waste any time. These are long videos. Here we go. A song that is definitely better on the remaster. They reworked parts of the guitar to make the flow better and much less pronounced. I actually heard the remaster before I heard the original. It's not even close. The song has a very, different feel than your typical metal and really laid the ground for the type of music Megadeth is going to be making after this album. I love sports. This song was made for sports. A lot of people crap on this song, but you know what I say? Crush them. While the song does have, the storytelling that I'm pretty sure is intended, something is just always kind of felt off to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know, something just seems off. Such a cool riff, especially in the opening bass form. Too bad that when the chorus comes back with the riff, it's a little too silly. Short, sweet, and heavy. For as short as it is, it perfectly builds its atmosphere and it feels a lot longer. That's what she said. You couldn't leave well enough alone, could you, Dave? I personally prefer the version that was on EUA, the bonus track. The rewrite doesn't fit the the feel the original had. It feels as Very interesting song. Bouncing simple riff with the contained run to finish it off, which is the very classic Megadeth style. However, the main riff is extremely repetitive. Obviously, main riffs are supposed to be repetitive in some sense, but with how short and contained this riff is, it wears out its welcome. The rest of the guitar work, though, is top notch. Set phases to rock. Another card-based tune for the gearheads. While not as good as what we're going to hear soon on this list, it's still a fast, fun tune, but unfortunately it's affected by the 13 curse. Shadow of Death is one of, if not my favorite Megadeth instrumental. Unfortunately, it's followed by My Kingdom, which is one of the dullest songs from Megadeth. Nasty, a ton of lovely nastiness. It's always pushing forward with its constant vocal melody, taking no break until the end of the chorus, when it gives you a chance to catch your breath and then be back at it. With the laughter bringing images of Lucretia to mind, we get one of the grooviest songs on the album and really the entire discography. The only real problem with this song, though, is some of the transitions just don't flow properly. This is one of the most complete songs on 13, though. Start your engines! We get right back on track after a quick pit stop and the octane is increased. You get a sense of actually being in the funny car and you're about to fly. When I first heard this song, I liked it a hell of a lot more than I do now. I don't think it aged very well. Not to say it's bad, it's certainly not, but Dave's vocals sound, very, very forced. He's not made to sing in this register anymore. When I was first listening to this song, I was thinking, no, this song actually captures the old feel, and then I realized, oh, it's a Budgie cover. Well, I can say that's one thing I will concede that Metallica did better than Megadeth. Okay, two things. I prefer the Metallica song about the Four Horsemen than this one. And again, Dave wrote that song. But we will get back to that much later. The song is a lot of buildup, but it's not very satisfying. Like French fries that have almost enough salt. Wow, it's a solid cover, and the added lower octave on the main riff is nice. It's just there. It's just there. You know the song from Alice. You really gain nothing from the cover. It's very, very close to the original, minus, of course, the additions. Again, it doesn't mean it's bad, but I just can't always be the nice guy. Banjo? Really? I own and love the instrument. The intro to the song is awesome, but it doesn't fit. The verse sounds extremely muddled when you have the banjo going along with the normal music. Pick one or the other. You pick one, just have the banjo going the whole time, it sounds unique and gives the song flair. You pick the original music, it just sounds like your standard, filler Megadeth track. The chorus, though, is pure badassdom. If they were more decisive on what style of song this could have been, it would have actually been much higher. The music in this is so damn good. If we were going off of that alone, this song would have been so much higher. But the lyrics are so damn bad. While Duke has been very hit and miss throughout the years, one thing has been constant. The theme song makes you want to kick ass and chew bubblegum and you're all out of ass. Wait. It's a very unexpected cover, in the same vein as these boots. But something about this one I love so much more. Is it that Stevie Flair, dare I say? I ain't superstitious about it, that's for sure. The music in this song is so damn heavy and is mixed so damn well. The only problem is, other than the pre-chorus, Dave's vocals are so damn boring. Damn! Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. This song has a very unique melody to it that helps it stand apart from its counterparts. Dave hits some pretty sick notes vocally too. Not the higher register, just more the mid-range ones. He doesn't really utilize that often. I remember being at a show when they debuted this song and I heard it for the first time. Not the original version, it was when they debuted the solo part of this song. When they first debuted it live, they did not have the intro solo. This one had. It was killer. It's a fun as hell song that you want to blast while you're playing Red Dead. Going for the notions of, variations of one riff throughout the entire song only works if the riff is good. This one, in fact, is a fun one. The vocal melody helps us as well. You know what wasn't needed? A sequel to Hangar 18. It tries to capture the magic of the original, but I've said this before. Al Pitrelli was not made for Megadeth. Again, I love him in TSO. Megadeth, no. The dual solo section is just very lackluster. However, the live version in Buenos Aires with, Drover and him going back and forth, mwah. Beautiful opening guitar work. I think the song actually would have ranked much higher if it was just an instrumental. Not saying the vocals are bad, it's just the guitar melody is super strong and stands on its own. It's fantastic work. Said all phasers the truth. The opening chord barrage sounds like it's the opening for a totally different song. The only problem I really have with it is the verse just sounds off to me. But once again, that chorus gets a chef's kiss. Look, I love this song, but I can't unhear the parody Dave Insane every time I hear this song. Plus, there's a travel song I do like more. Harmonica and the wheels on the bus. Best intro. The energy in this track is bursting from the seams. It has a constant flow that emulates travel. Cool travel. Have will. Whap whap. Whap whap. I feel this song gets ignored, but with the main riffs, it would fit right into Rust. It has elements of both Tornado Souls and Poison Was the Cure. Tornado of Poison. Poison of Souls. Tornado of Cure. It will always love you. This song is pretty perfect in the eyes of thrash at the time. At the same time, the chorus kills it for me. Screaming liar over and over again, while funny, sounds a bit off genre, and the end just kind of happens. The hidden thrash gem in an album that's predominantly not thrash. It's a song that many people don't talk about. While compared to other thrash classics, it doesn't stand out, it's still an awesome song. Still one of the best episodes of any cartoon ever. Song is a history lesson with a classic single string pull-off riff. You don't get much of a chance to prepare for this song as it just kind of starts off. The guitar evolves as the song goes along. It's a solid song, but doesn't do much to elevate itself. As filler tracks go, this is how you do one well. That chorus riff has always been a favorite of mine. The main riff is very simple, but effective. Along with the killer riff, the chorus vocal melody is one of my favorites. The song also greatly utilizes rhythms that sound off time, that makes it, stand out. A lot of fans are disconnected from this one, but it's one hell of a sleeper. Imagine if Dave was able to maintain the register he sings this song in. That would have opened up so many possibilities. Chorus has a very fantastical feel that perfectly captures the song. It's structured so well. Video games. They've done a lot more songs for games than I realized. This is one of the more popular ones that's much more well known. It's easy to see why. It's awesome. a tribute to the thrash classic Am I Evil. It's a fantastic song, but it also gets, a little, winded in parts. With some of the fat trimmed off, this could have been a classic. Another memoir song. Damn, there's a lot of those. And the book, which I do have signed. This is one of the better ones. This one delves a little deeper into the past, but isn't as monotone as 13. Also, I love the book of the same name, so there's a little bias. Well, there we go. We got to number 101. Next episode, we cracked the top 100. Things are gonna get a little shorter now, much more condensed, 20 songs an episode. We wanted to get the bulk out of the way real quick. What do you guys think so far? What do you think of my rankings? Are you enjoying these so far? I'm having fun doing these. Going back and listening to every Megadeth song, I'm never going to complain. It's a fun ride, my favorite band, along with Styx, which we're going to get to after. What are your predictions? What do you think is going to be the number one song? I think a lot of people can predict the number one song, but what do you think is going to happen? If you can predict the next 20 songs, I will buy you a cookie. You get a cookie. I can't afford more than a cookie, but I'll get you a cookie. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned to next week. So much fun. Daylight saving time sucks. Take care. We've reached the top 100. We're getting to the nitty gritty now. Starting with the sexy Ellison bass, evolving into the sexy flowing guitar and vocal melodies. The song just oozes smoothness. No sharp edges found here other than Dave's guitar. The lyrics are also very fitting to the title. Not extremely clever, but still smart. Beginning to end, it's pretty non-stop. We get another cover, this time a song by Fear. This song kicks ample amounts of ass, and Dave manages to bring back some of his old school stylings of vocals, and it's a nice welcome touch. How he pulled them off, good job. The only real issue I have with it is the guitar tone doesn't 100% fit, but that is being extremely nitpicky. Otherwise, it's a solid cover with added modern touches that make it, sound fresh. That opening panning guitar riff is almost hypnotic. What makes this song stellar is the entirety of the intro. From the guitar to the haunted house, dun 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 dun, it all just works. The rest of the song brings back the styles of the 90s. There's a feeling of somberness throughout the lyrics and this whole song, even though the chorus is so in your face. It's there, it's the undertones of greatness. While by no means a mosher, this is the one you want to make your way to the front of the crowd, headbanging on the rails. Man, I miss that. It's time for an instrumental. For those who do not know this, Dave became really well known for one technique. For Washington Is Next, the solo. He did a thumb technique to get the extra length, and this is the song it actually originated in. I could be wrong. I remember Dave saying something about that in an interview. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Regardless, this instrumental kicks ass and really encapsulates the sound and feeling of the So Far So Good. So what? The words no one wants to hear. I love you like you're my brother. Big oof. With the iconic chromatic riff that Dave has definitely used more than once, one that we will see again much, much later, it's just the main star this time. For those of us who have been cheated on, you feel this song while listening to it. If you haven't, then you're listening to one of the shining stars on this dim lit night of an album. The tale of two songs, starting with the beautiful orchestral ballad that nobody expected on Endgame, but it isn't the main draw of the song. It's the Edgar Allan Poe inspired center. It kicks so much ass that it broke through its seal and slapped the kiss mark right off your face. So damn good. Broken apart, both sections stand on their own pretty well, but with their powers combined, it's pretty magical. This song is weird. It's an absolute thumper in the bridge, and the chorus just makes you want to bounce. Verse is where it's trippy. If you remove the little lick over the main riff, it gives it the sound of an odd timing, but it's not. It's just It's the trick of your ears, but given the context of the song, it makes perfect sense. You have to do a little deciphering of the lyrics, but once you do, you realize just how dark this song is. Pretty damn brilliant. Slow chugs, them chuggy chugs. One thing that nobody can deny is that Euthanasia contains some of Megadeth's best choruses. Sure, they are made to be formulaic to the mainstream and reach a wider audience, but who the hell cares? You don't know it all. Bringing back that old school stop style riff to great effect. There is really no downside to this song. Some may say they're just using their older styles to, keep the older fans in, and you would likely be right. But again, who the hell cares? This song is awesome and you cannot deny it. The clever wordplay in this song has always been a favorite of mine. Now, I may catch some flack for having this song so low, and that's fine. Is it badass? Of course it is. Is it a thrash masterpiece? Of course it is. Does it melt face? You get the picture. My issues are simply that the intro did not need to repeat. It should have been a one and done. And for all the awesomeness that this song is, the chorus is a little too cheesy for my likings. Not the music, but the vocals. God, I'm gonna get heat for this. You know what this song sounds like? A faster version of In My Darkest Hour. I have always been a huge fan of distorted and clean guitars mix. It adds a super compelling dynamic that's really hard to capture any other way. Song is heavy as you want and has sweet little touches here and there that really add to the atmosphere. When the song kicks it up a notch, it sounds like something from P-Cells, and that's always a good thing. The little track that could. One of my original outlets for Megadeth was listening to the Arsenal Megadeth DVD. This was one of the featured music videos. Back then, this song would have ranked much, much higher, but it has since fallen. Still love it, just not as much. It will always keep chugging on in my heart. This song is totally not direct at Metallica. Not at all. Not one bit. Nuh-uh. No. Another video game song that was added to 13 and thus neutered by it. They added effects to differentiate it from its original single, but really this track suffered for it. This Guitar Hero Solo Fest was perfect the way it was. If you just want blistering solos and not much context, this is the song for you. Another Memoir song. Difference this time being, it's a fun ride. Adding past song and album titles really brings out the
I understood that reference.
in us. Is it cheesy? Of course, but it can claim victory in ranking above the other memoirs. The title track of a masterpiece. While many cite the blistering intro of the song as the best part, I will actually cite the groovy as hell verse riff. It is a bucket of radioactive sunshine. The rest of the song could frankly suck, and that riff alone would keep it high ranking. Thankfully, the rest is equally as fun. Like with Rip, the main riff of this song is just too damn fun. The only thing that really makes this song rank higher for me is nostalgia. For those who remember, my main and first outlet for Megadeth was the Argentina concert. If I had the power to go back in time and go to that concert, aguante indeed. Befitting of an old FNV, this song is very effective of being theatrical and putting in your mind just heroes hero posing. I could definitely see someone use this song to make an FNV with the boys. Somebody do it. This song ranks higher than most of its counterparts simply because I just love that chorus. The rest of it is just some delicious croutons. You know, not the main part of the salad, but it's definitely not complete without its croutons. Bringing the necessary energy that is needed. It prepares you for taking action and being fantastic doing so. There's not much more to say, it's just pure Megadeth-y goodness. I'm using this version of the song because to me, frankly, it's superior to the album version. It has the stripped down version of the cover that was in the album, and the problems bit into a perfect amalgamation of pure punky goodness. The two flow together seamlessly and makes you go full Spider Monkey hyped up on Mountain Dew. So what did you guys think of these 20? We're getting the nitty gritty, like I said, it's getting tougher and tougher. Some songs are going to rank lower than you thought because, well, frankly, Megadeth has a lot of great songs, and not every song can be in the top 10. I know I'm going to catch flack for the Rest in Peace songs on this list, but hey, you know what? I don't care. This is my list. If you like what I have to prepare, or you want to just, keep seeing how much you hate me, why not consider subscribing? I'm about to hit 200 subscribers. I have the goal of reaching 1,000 by this year. It's a long, fun ride, and I'm having fun with this project. Stay tuned. Follow me on twitch.tv or twitch.com/Fenrirock, whichever one is. Try them both. It's linked in the description. Go follow the curator. Go subscribe to FVC Gaming. That channel is also on the road to 200 subs. That channel's catching up to me and it's scaring me. My child's going to overtake me. I can't take this. How am I going to afford college when I can't afford my own bills? Ah! Yeah, take care. We have reached the top 50%. From this point on, the rankings get pretty tight, and on some days, these songs really could be switched. I took care to really think about and see how I truly felt about each of these tracks. So without further ado, here is every Megadeth song ranked 80 to 61. The opening riff of this one foreshadows what's to come really on Euthanasia before reverting to the chunky groove fest, complete with wah. Lyrically, this song could be mistaken for a Judas Priest song. They always talking about killer cyborgs and things. The song really carries that groove throughout and remains very punchy. Tones in every sense of the word are on point in this song, unless you include color tones. More covers, this time from Thin Lizzy, and it's a killer one at that. While Super Collider isn't the best album, this cover really fit into the feeling of that album and was also one of the best on it. Just too bad it isn't their own song. Talk about a great way to kick off a comeback album. It was Dave's way of saying, yes, I can still thrash. And Melt Face. It set the tone for the album. An album I feel a lot of people really ignore. The song builds and builds and builds with strategic shifts throughout. You know, the old school Megadeth. The presence of Chris Poland's return had a pretty large impact. His solos melt the bone that's left over after the rest of your face was melted. So good! Sounds of loudspeakers and thunderous rhythms as you march to your new home. What's funny about this song though is it doesn't really have lyrics. You feel like you're just having a conversation with the conspiracy theorists, which I guess in a way you really are. Nevertheless, this track is here for its monster-sized musical powerhouse of rhythms, leads, drums, bass, everything. Thanos approved. Back-to-back title tracks, and similar in substance as well to an extent. That main gallop rhythm, while simple, is just so damn headbang worthy. One thing that United Abominations has, along with the rest of its tracks, is very well constructed chorus riffs. They get overshadowed mostly to, well, the main focus of course is usually the lyrics and the vocal melodies. But focus on the guitar, it's something to behold. Piano starts this one off. Wait. Piano? Yes, Dave's first instrument was piano, and you'd never think the first sound you hear from Megadeth would be piano. What this kicked off though was the best opening album from the Big Four. If I remember right, Scott Ian agrees with me. And are you going to argue with a man running a madhouse? Are you? Hey! Possibly the heaviest song on Countdown. Definitely in the vocal list sections, where it's kept just simple chugs. Are Dave's vocals a little... Who cares? This song is awesome, and just sit back and welcome it into your life. Finally, the right version that should have been on the album. Demo with completely different lyrics that I'm assuming were deemed too silly by the studio. I'm sensing some label tomfoolery. Well, they can shove it up their ass. Bonus track worthy of being a main track. Beautiful in its simpleness. No tricks, no flair, just sit back and rock out. That's all it is, and that's where its greatness lies. Fun fact, this channel was started to be a motovlog channel, right when motovlogging died. So after sitting on it for a long time, it evolved to what it is today. It's really the only reason why it's ranked this high. I mean, yeah, it's still awesome, but it carries real world bias. This song ranks here for two reasons. The second half really captured the old school Megadeth riff and David Draymond. First half of the song is still solid, but is elevated by those elements. There is a fault though I have with the second half. I feel like they castrated Drover. They should have let the man go off, which he's fully capable of doing, but they just said, nope, you're doing a single kick per measure. I mean, this is a double kick, if not just... it's... Another thrash sleeper on Cryptic. Many fans label this the pop album, other than Risk of course, and they haven't listened to the whole thing. It contains some kick-ass thrashers. This one, Vortex, and more to come. This song is short, sweet, and to the point of burning rubber all over your carport for talking smack. I liken this song to Escape from Metallica, for simply sounding very different from the rest of the release that it is on. The main riff of this song and vocal melodies sound more like the British heavy metal invasion than, 80s thrash. At least for the opening. It does shift into the Megadeth you know and love. Finally, the right version that should have been on the album. Let's get this straight. Evil That's Within sounds better than The Reasons That We Sin. It also fits the melody better. That's it. If you think otherwise, then you can. That opening bass. This song is just awesome. From the opening bass to the heavy guitars building into the chanting verse. It's a complete package with the addition of sinister vocals. You feel like you're on the... Okay, I'll stop that. Luring you in with the slower, heavy chord-driven intro. You think it's gonna be a thick burner, then the galloping horses just come and trample you into the mud as you try to escape Alcatraz. Okay, I'll definitely stop with the silly transitions. You can... I wonder how many awkward car drives there were back in the day when this song was prevalent on the radio. Fun fact, this is actually the first Megadeth song I ever heard back way before I knew who they were, when KSJO was on regular rotation. I miss KSJO! It has stayed close to my heart ever since. You can trust that. Probably the most complete sounding and coherent song on So Far So Good. So what? It contains some of the best songwriting from any Megadeth song top to bottom. It has such a strong foundation, and they built an awe-inspiring skyscraper on top of it. Coming from this era of the band, knowing all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, that's something to marvel at. Perfect blend of acoustic and heavy. Deep lyrics about combating addiction. This is the other song that was on heavy rotation with Trust. I remember when I first, actually started getting into Megadeth, and I heard this song for the first time in almost 20 years, but I somehow still knew the lyrics. It was just coming back to me, flooding in with memory waves. I was just like, wait a damn second. It just goes to show that great music sticks with you, no matter how long you've been separated. title track of my favorite Megadeth album. Spoilers if you missed that video. Every time I hear this song, I want to go back and read Most Dangerous Game. Have I? No, that doesn't matter. This song sits in the middle of being, a melodic chill out song and heavy melodic riff fest. Either way, it's a fantastic song worthy of being the title track. Alright, 60 more to go. 3 more videos. There's going to be 20 in the next one, 20 in the one after that, and then the top 10. Are you all ready? I'm ready. If you're liking these videos, please remember to drop me a like, comment below, let me know what you think, let me know how stupid you think I am, see if you agree with me, let me know. I don't know unless you comment. If you're not yet done so, that works. Subscribe to me, please. Consider subscribing. It costs you nothing. Over Twitch it costs you something. Over here it don't. It helps me out. It helps grow my channel. Helps me reach other people. Please hit subscribe. Help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Fenrirock7. I'm starting to get that going. I finally started streaming over there. Go subscribe to FEC Gaming. Go over reach 1,000 subscribers there as well. Our main video is just about to hit 10,000 views. If only all those people subscribed. What can you do? Stay tuned next time, friends. We're almost done with this. Take care. After a quick week break, we are back with the ranking of every Megadeth song of all time. We are in 60 to 41. So close to the top 10. Just this one more, and then we're at the end game, people. If you've been watching these rankings and keeping up with them and are not yet subscribed, what's wrong with you? Please consider subscribing. I have the goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So please help me out. Hit the subscribe button, click the like button, and always comment. Comment albums you think I should review. I'm gonna try to do 1 review a week. I'm gonna try to keep these lists going. These lists take a lot of work. That's kind of why I took a week off. I need a little breather. Without further ado, here is number 60. The song responsible for making me think this album was going to be great. It's heavy as hell and thrashy. Sure, it borrows the gallop from Sabbath, but nothing wrong with that. Today, we are the Kingmaker, but don't worry, that will change shortly. This song, when I first heard it, Jar and I were both blown away. It was the first new Megadeth we had heard in a while, and it was slamming. Then the bass riff starts and all hell broke loose. Making better use of the old school Megadeth riff structure, more so than other recent ventures, and it's properly face melting. It has fallen down a bit since I first heard it, but my love for it is no illusion. The original title track, and the business model, which is apparently very, very strong because they're still going strong today. Sure, the staff has changed a lot over the many years, but upper management has mostly remained the same, ignoring about a 10-year hiccup. Projections look strong for the company's coming quarters and in other future projections. Oh, and this song is amazing too. Video game song! This song made me buy the video game. Have I played it? Nope. Did it need to be on 13? Nope. Is it a badass thrasher that had me screaming with joy the first and last time I heard it? Yep. Everybody grab your sticks and pitchforks. To play the toms. Watching Elfson play the toms to accent the toms from the drummer is always fun. This song is a staple for live shows, and it is fun from the beginning pedal to the ending push. The main rhythm has quite the monstrous tone. The lead sounds like buzzsaws. Drums are ever pressing. All ingredients for a circle pit of good times. This song is deep, man. Inspired by events affecting the Ellison family, this song is more than just amazing. It's a song for the soul, and fittingly has one of Dave's best vocal performances. From trippy intro guitar to creepy witch laughter, the song is a madhouse of guitar mastery, containing one of Marty's, most exotic solos and one of Dave's grooviest riffs. Good time for everyone, except for Lucretia's victims. Another song with much deeper meaning, deep and dark. I won't discuss exactly what that is, but I'm sure you can figure it out. The music itself, this one has always been a love for mine. It's super slept on. Song is hilarious. Sure, subject matter wise, it's not, but there's a tonality of comedy to it. Plus, its bluesiness, thrashy chef's kiss. Mwah. The song is blistering, almost as blistering as the sun on your parachuteless back. This song ranks as high for one reason, and stop me if you've heard this before, the Buenos Aires concert. Black Metal Universe perfectly melting into Set the World Afire always pumps me up. The recorded version is okay, but the live version, that's where it's at. Thrash classic. Equally classic videos and tassels of flapping. Spider chord technique on full display. The song is all about the guitar with very little vocals. What it's about shines through. It's about 99 Ways to Die, and having fun isn't one. The song is straightforward, but it is pure fun. Beginners should learn how to play this song when they're getting into thrash. It has great riffs to play, and it'll help build your foundation. Just don't die. There's 99 ways here to not die. Or if you have TV, 1,000 ways. Pick and choose. Every time I pick up my guitar, this is one of the riffs I play. Damn near every single time. My old bandmates can attest to that. Is the song very poppy? Yes. Does that matter? No. This is another one that's actually way better in the remaster. They took out a lot of extra fluff that they had in the original version that actually, I just like the original version. Remaster, good. Old, bad. Out of all the remastered albums, I would definitely say Cryptic had the biggest upgrade. While the majority of this song would warrant a high ranking on their own, it's all about that opening chord scene. The perfect cover. There's not much else to say. This song is arguably the original thrash song, and Megadeth covered it brilliantly. Also, the decision to leave in the blooper, priceless. Justified obliteration indeed. This song is a scorcher start to finish. It is a threat to you in the pits. That is real. Like many of its counterparts, Sleepwalker is a song built on a strong foundation. From the dreamy cleans to the chaotic gallops, it has everything. Also, if you don't already know, whatever you do, do not, I repeat, don't Google Colombian necktie. Don't. No. No. One of the songs Dave wouldn't play live anymore because God wouldn't let him. While my beliefs on religion have changed a lot over the course of my life, I will never ever shame someone for their beliefs, even if they are one of the silly ones. But when the arguably much more religious member of your band says play the song, you play the damn song. The musical biography of Vic Rattlehead. It's brutal in its contents. Vic went through it, man. The playing in this song is top notch. And once again, like the rest of this album, showed the world what was in store from Megadeth. And that was global destruction. Whew. 2 more left, people. 2 more. It's been a long ride. We're coming to the end. Thank you guys for watching these. 2 more. We're back on track. Another one will be up next week. And the finale will be the week after. 40 through 21. You know why we're here. Let's get to it. The equally melodic and chunky riff I blasted every time I got angry. It's crazy going back and looking at all these Megadeth hits that were not on proper albums. This is amongst the best of those. I absolutely adore the riff and vocal melodies during the verse. It's super chill, but unpredictable in how it disturbs the blow beneath the surface. Chaos. It's one of the strongest tracks from Euthanasia that has really been forgotten with time. Conspiracy stuff aside, this song is powerful in ways of the riff. The chaotic verse giving way to the groovy chorus is fantastic. I guess the only real flaw I have with this song is Dave sounds very That's a nitpick though. If you listen to the track, you know what I mean. His voice sounds off. Just shows though that the originals on 13 could be great. The song most think of when they think of UA, and it's easy to see why. This song is nuts and complex, as well as the much touted thumb style during the solo. Melodic, heavy, in your face, and political. That's what Megadeth is about. I am so glad this song got a well-deserved full recording. Originally all we had was the demo, and it had to me one of Megadeth's best riffs, paired with the super trippy, verse riff with a very odd time signature. Then the whole finishing solo section is blistering, as well as Dave showing off his mastery of rhythm, which he is not given enough credit for. Quite possibly my all-time favorite Gallup melody, a staple to the live shows ever since its inception, which leads me to the best version of this song, the live version from the Rude Awakening show. Yes, there are better versions of it live, but this is the most easily accessible. It's extended and majestic, as well as showing what Albatross are actually capable of doing. Remember what I said about Bad Omen? Same thing here. I just like the song more, mainly because the riffs are better to me. Absolute perfection. This song is intense. One of Dave's absolute best vocal performances. The musicality is good, but this song is here for its substance, and that is a very heavy-hearted substance. First 1-2 combo we've had in a while. Endgame had a ton of hype leading up to its arrival. New lead guitarist, Head Crusher is making his talk show rounds. People, like me, were stoked. You hit play on the record and you get greeted with this beauty. It was staggering with Dialectic Chaos's instrumental. Then This Day We Fight starts. And now, I don't know about you, but if you are having issues with Dark Souls, turn off the in-game music and just play this song instead. I promise, you will win. A bit of a wild card this high up, but this is a song that resonated and stayed with me throughout the years. It's a song that builds and builds and it just feels good. Chris Poland's guitar work on this track as well is just glorious. Of all the songs I've ever learned how to play on guitar, this ranks amongst the highest as the most fun to play. The different styles mixed in, the mix of chunk and melody, and just being able to thrash your ass off in the closing minute, the song is a masterpiece. We are entering into the realm of the best, where ranking these songs has reached its absolute hardest. I made some decisions that surprised even me, but I stand by them. Trust me, there's going to be a song in these next 9 that will blow your mind. If you like this content, like I always say, I have the goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. I have these lists going on forward. I have my reviews, a new style. By the time you see this video, I should have my new review from the Offsprings album up, new reaction reviews. I have a new series coming out on Tuesday. A lot of things will be ramping up. If you like my content, please subscribe. Help me reach that goal. Ring the bell. It helps me out, helps us grow. Click like, algorithm, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before. Thank you. Every year, after Thanksgiving, this song gets blasted. But it's not a gimmick. Far from it. Peace Sells is such a masterpiece of an album full of high caliber tracks. This being one of the best. It's a complete package of a song. Unsettling cleans, dark leads, and thrashing riffs. It has everything you could ever want at bargain sale prices. the shining highlight of So Far, So Good. So what? I covered this way back in my original ranking video. The song is pure fun, tongue-in-cheek sarcasm, and the PMRC speech is a thing of complete beauty. Sorry. It hooks you in and does not release you, not until it's done with you. Man, I love this song. The night I was going to see Megadeth and Scorpions play together, there was a car accident on the freeway which locked up even worse than it already is. Like I said before, I live in the Bay Area, so if you live here, you know how bad it already is. By the time we finally got there, Megadeth was almost done. But the first song we were able to hear on arrival was this one. As far as title tracks go, this is one of the best. The main riff brings in memories of Hangar 18. Chorus is time for Kiko just to shine bright like a diamond. And the bridge is a slamming, just grand old time. So damn good, or dare I say, me like. Starting off with the build-up for one of my all-time favorite Megadeth chorus riffs. The addition of literal machine gun snares makes for one of the best songs on Endgame. This song doesn't just have one of my favorite chorus riffs, it has one of my all-time favorite solo riffs. It gets overshadowed by the other instruments, but if you listen, it's there. Why wasn't the song on Hero? It needs it. The world needs it. Sure, it's a fairly standard riff, but that does not matter in the slightest. The song is smooth as silk, satisfying as hell to play, and it's just plain amazing. The music video that made me fall in love with this guitar. That video, paired with all the badassness of all the riffs in this track, cements it as one of the top songs of theirs to me. There is no bad part in the song. It's amazeballs. Similar in vein to Dialectic Fight, but there are two factors that elevate this higher than its worthy counterpart. Conquer or Die is a much more fleshed out song, and Lying in State is if you have doubts, just listen to the solo section riff. Enough said. I'm gonna catch some heat for this, but think about it, people. It cracked the top 25 of a massive catalog. You could remove the verse completely and just leave it a shred fest and it would not budge an inch. Between its undeniable grooves and true shred mastery on display, those are two things combined that completely make sense. I can't believe this song is so high. I need to reiterate something to you. I got into Megadeth late, remember that. I'm not even 30 yet, I just got 2 more months. I got into them in the late 2000s, right when UA came out and Endgame was boiling up. I was highly impressionable to music at the time. Head Crusher came out and well, my brain was crushed. Even taking nostalgia out of the equation, this is far and away one of the most aggressive Megadeth tracks. Not in the typical Megadeth sense of aggression, just an actual aggression. You think aggressive, Head Crusher is that. Alright, top 20. This is where we split it up. It's going to be 20 through 11, and then the top 10. I was on a little vacation, that's why this video is delayed a week. Had to, take care of other things as well, so it all makes sense. Everything is back on track. 2 weeks left, people. Then I take a little break from this series, get the stick stuff ready to go. But you know it's coming. Stay tuned for new series this week. Stay tuned for new style reviews. I don't know what that was, but you do, because I'm David, but you can call me Fenrirock. Bye. Welcome to ranking every Megadeth song 20 to 11. At 20, we have Die Dead Enough. Ever since I first heard this song, I was in love. the simple but heavy verse riff, the melodic, beautiful, and relatable chorus, Dave's more subdued but emotional vocals, and I mean Chris. Just Chris. He just fits into the melodic Megadeth songs perfectly, like Dr. Pepper and Skittles. Lime original, not that green apple abomination. Sorry, I'm very passionate about my Skittles. Back to music. Yes, while this song isn't remembered as well amongst its peers, to me, it's something special. Tout le monde. I'm only ranking this song based off of the original. While yes, the new version that's on New Way is, technically thrashier, I feel it didn't capture the same emotions the original did. This song, like so many others, holds a very special meaning in my heart, for a multitude of reasons. It's frankly a perfect song, and if they went with English instead of French, I don't think it would have had the same impact that it did. Marty's solo in this also is just so beautiful, and it fits. Also, if you want to tip your cap and say, hey, I know how to play a Marty solo, this is the one to learn. It's very accessible. Millennium of the Blind. I've said this before, and I'll say this for this track as well. I'm so glad this song received a full recording. While 13 gets well-deserved hate for rehashing songs, it also deserves praise for giving us songs like this and A New World Order. The original Millennium of the Blind was just a quick jaunt to the spoken word part of the song, and the chromatic rundown Dave has used time and time again. However, the redo, oh boy, becomes a heavy lifting monster, both musically and metaphorically. The lyrics for the song are what actually have stuck with me the most. With the music surrounding it being so damn good, it deserves to be this high. Thrash masterpiece after thrash masterpiece. That's what Rust in Peace is. It's chock full of them, and this being the most haymaker to the face. The pure raw aggression on display in this one is second to none. By riff standards, it is pretty simple, but it is also going a million miles an hour, and everything else around it is slamming. It takes no prisoners. Symphony of Destruction. Megadeth's Enter Sandman. Let me explain. Think about it. Crazy good song from the band. Crazy heavy, yet very simple main riff. Melodic chorus that gets the crowd fully involved. Blistering solo. And it gets overplayed to oblivion, and every fan of the band calls you a poser if you say it's your favorite song. There's no shame in loving overplayed songs, people. Don't be gatekeepers. They are mostly overplayed for good reason. Frankly, the people who call you a poser are the real posers. Let people like what they like, or better yet, if you suspect they are new to the band, suggest a song to them that you think they may like. Help them grow within the bands, help them discover new music. Don't be a metal Karen. T-cells. Everything I said about Symphony applies here as well. Way back before I ever knew anything about Megadeth, I would blast this song on V-Rock. Do y'all remember V-Rock? This song contains one of the best bass lines in metal history, and frankly the rest of the song is one of the best metal anthems in metal history. Metal, metal, metal. Usually it serves as either the main set closer or the intro to the encore. It's one of the best Megadeth songs, and it's gonna stay that way forever. You can buy that. Do you guys remember when Dave did that little stint with the orchestra? Not many do. But it did give birth to two beautiful things. This guitar and this song. It was heavily influenced by classical music, which is evident by the intro. But even beyond that, this song is chuggy as hell. And the chorus, oh man, the chorus. It's just so damn haunting. Ever since I first heard this song, I was hooked. I'd put it on repeat or just turn the volume all the way up every time this song would come around. This song needs to be taken out of the shadows and given much more love by the masses. No self-respecting thrash band can call themselves a real thrash band until they have a mosh song that says their name within the lyrics. You just can't. And this is Megadeth, and it is a fittingly titled song. partially responsible for why I have neck issues in the first place. Don't look too much into that. Song is short, sweet, and to the steel tip point. If you don't get a full-blown urge to just start moving when you hear this song, you must be dead. Only damn way. For a period of time, this held the spot as my favorite Megadeth song. It may also be the most complex song from the opening album. I know not everybody has gone back and listened to the original, release, but please go back and blast this song. It's as Megadeth-y as Megadeth gets, and it's a masterpiece. In fact, I'm going to go do that right now. Okay, I'm back. Does this song have potentially very annoying vocals? Yes. Does it follow a pretty standard progression? Yes. Does the musicality on display in this song completely overshadow any kind of flaw you could possibly think of in this song? Oh, hell yes. And let's all be honest, we know why this song is this high. Marty's solo. The Marty masterpiece that any new Megadeth guitarist is judged by. If you can nail that solo, you get accepted by the fandom. Don't believe me? Go watch any video of Glenn or Al playing this song and go to the comments. Trust me, frankly, it's unfair to judge one guitarist by another guitarist's solos, but it's just how it is. This song is a masterclass in guitar playing, and if you've never heard it, go. Just go. Just like how this video is going to end right now. We brought this one back to Creation Corner. I like in my little corner. I like it here. Things are easier for me. I'm going to keep getting better equipment for this. I want to get an actual camera to actually, hook up. Right now I'm using my little cams. But Creation Corner is where my videos are going to live out permanently, and no more of these random filming out here. I may have, if I do have another one here, it's going to be from the angle behind me, filming into the corner. But what do you guys think of these 10? We only have the top 10 to go. It's a doozy. And we may have a bonus video once that's done. If you remember back in the first few videos, I said there's going to be a follow-up video to the top 10. But these are top 10. Like, to me, I thought Looking Down the Cross would have ranked a lot higher, but it fell a lot. But that song, I love that damn song so much. I seriously mean this. If you haven't heard Looking Down the Cross, please go and listen to that song. But without further ado, if you haven't yet done so, please hit subscribe. I have the goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We're actually on a good pace right now. If you haven't done so already, please go check out my review of the new Gojira album. But again, I'm David, but you can call me Fenrirock. Take care. Hello, and welcome to the final episode of ranking every Megadeth song of all time, the top 10. This song cracks the top 10 by the skin of its teeth. Countdown to Extinction isn't known for being a speedy album, but this is one of the speediest tracks. It's also one of its most fun to play. The riffs have you moving all over the frets, and it always keeps you on your toes. And there's just something about when you hit that final note of the chorus, the bending of the D. When I first put this list together, I did have this song lower, but then I just really thought about how much it's stuck with me throughout the years. Every time it's ever come up on shuffle, I've never hit skip once, and I love it. The blistering crazy riff that blindsides you after that, super chill intro. I remember the first time I heard this track back on Rust and went, what the hell was that? I then proceeded to listen to it over and over again to pick up on the little nuances underneath. Like the slower version of the main riff that's much more chord heavy, it's just as killer, just way more punchy. It's short, sweet, and poisonous in all the best ways possible. The title track is the highest ranking track of its album. At first, I had this and a Tout le Monde switched, but I could not deny the greatness of this track. It's slow, groovy Megadeth at their best. Still jam-packed with twists and turns. An amazing chorus, and really that bridge riff is too badass. It has great lyrics, and vocally Dave's at his best at both ends of the spectrum. The year is 2010. Jar and I are at the American Carnage Tour up in San Francisco at the Cow Palace. Towards the end of the set of possibly one of the greatest days ever. The book signing, meeting Chris out in the parking lot pre-show, that was amazing. But then, right as we think the show's over, Dave comes out and says this.
Lars asked me to play this song tonight, so I'm dedicating this song to you, Lars, in the spirit of the Big Four coming to the United States of America.
Here it goes. Doesn't say what it is. Then Ellefson starts with that riff and Jar loses his goddamn mind. This is his favorite Megadeth song, and it's become one of mine. That show was amazing, and as they say, the rest is history. The song that nobody would ever guess would be in anybody's top 10. Well, it's in mine just outside the top 5. From the moment I heard this song, I loved it. I just couldn't help but think, how could such an amazing song be on the much maligned Risk? It's a beautifully magnificent song and is criminally underrated. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's rated. Most fans have probably never even heard this song. Just please do me a favor and give this one a chance. The lyrics are beautiful. The playing is just as beautiful. Or as a friend of mine once described another friend of mine, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The first music video I ever saw from the group. When I was first getting into the band, I didn't realize this was them. It was just so vastly different from the rest of their music, strictly speaking about the verse. It's just one of those songs you have to sing along with, and well, if you don't have a black-toothed grin while listening to it, something is wrong with you. The most underrated Megadeth song of all time. This song is insane, fast, and ever-changing in its style. It's the stuff that you want from Megadeth, and it kills me that not more fans are aware of this song. It's similar in a lot of ways from another song we're going to be hearing from very soon, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you need any proof of the greatness of this song, follow this link. It's from the Blood in the Water live show in San Diego. Just do it. Final countdown song, and deservingly so. This song has everything you want. Thrash parts, parts that make you want to bounce, intricate riffs that make you want to learn guitar. This is one of, if not the most fun song I've learned to play from the group, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. It's a live staple for a reason, and if they don't play it whenever I get to see them live, I cry. It's like when I saw Judas Priest. They didn't play Living After Midnight. I was gutted. A wise Canadian woman once asked, "Can beauty come out of ashes?" Yes, it can. Yes, it can. The first song my original band ever played live. It ranks as high not only on deep personal connection and nostalgia, it deserves to be here. For all the songs Dave wrote for Metallica, I'm glad this is the one he chose to keep. Also, for those who think this is a Four Horsemen ripoff, just if you truly honestly believe that and you're watching my videos, leave and go learn some metal history. It'll do you some good. What Master of Puppets is to Metallica, this song is to Megadeth. Is this an easy, safe choice and number? Let me stop you right there. Easy choice, safe choice, none of that shit matters. This song is a masterclass and a masterpiece of metal godness. And anyone who says otherwise is lying to themselves and you just because they want you to think it sucks. Picking the popular song is perfectly fine, especially when that damn song is Holy Wars. You can take any of the multitude of riffs in this song, rip them out, and make an entire new song, and it'll be just as great as this song. This song is Dave's songwriting at its absolute best. It is the Megadeth song, and for my money, it is the greatest thrash song from the greatest thrash album from the greatest thrash band of all thrash history. If you have a problem with that, well, you're in the wrong place. Stay tuned to next week, where I go over the album rankings once again based off the song rankings in these videos. I'm David, but you can always call me Fenrirock. Take care. Trying something a little different today. Before I get into this list, I'd like to explain something real fast. It's a thought process of what you think is the best and what you like the best. Example being, I personally think Led Zeppelin is the greatest band of all time. However, they do not have my favorite song of all time, nor are they my favorite band. My favorite band is actually a tie between Styx and Megadeth, depending on my mood of the day. So do either of them have my favorite song? Nope, that belongs to December from Collective Soul. Do I feel like it's the greatest song of all time? No. No, I do not. I think you get what I'm getting at. By the way, best song of all time is Stairway to Heaven. Going back to Zen. With all that exposition, which comes into play here on this list, here's my personal rankings of my least favorite Megadeth album to my favorite Megadeth album. I'm sure y'all know where this starts. Surprise! It's not Risk. Now, a disclaimer. I like all Megadeth albums, but this one is my least favorite. It came at a point where Dave really lost his mojo and was trying to recover his metalness after Risk. It suffers from being somewhat boring. Al Pitrelli, who I love in Sabotage and absolutely love in Trans-Siberian Orchestra, had no business being the lead guitarist of Megadeth. He doesn't fit. It comes off as being one of those making an album for the sake of making an album because you have to. That all really would have been solved if they saved Kill the King for this and not put it on the greatest hits of the time, because that song is one of the best songs to me. I love that song. But it's not. So my favorite song on this album would be When. It's a great tribute to Am I Evil. Now we can talk about Risk. Psych! Now, I know some metal purists are going to be pissed off at me and will likely roast me in the comments for this, but I just never really liked this one. It was a toss-up between this one and The World Needs a Hero. This one is overall better to me. Dave was at his druggiest when they made this album, and it really shows. Production also took a step back from Peace Cells. You'd think I'd pick In My Darkest Hours my favorite song from this album, but if you haven't figured out by now that I don't go by convention, then are you really paying attention? It's Hook and Mouth. Song is heavy, and spelling out freedom as a big middle finger to the PMRC is pure poetry. Okay, now we can talk about Risk. A lot of people hate Risk, and rightfully so. I, however, don't. Some context. I grew up with two older female cousins, and every time our family would get together, we'd stay up all night listening to 90s dance and pop songs. So I've always had a soft spot in my heart for pop music. That being said, it does not bug me when a band goes against the norm and, pushes the boundaries a little bit and experiments to an extent. This album actually has some pretty slept-on songs. Crush 'Em is a great pump-up song. Prince of Darkness, other than the uhs, is a really good one as well. But my favorite song here, and actually one of my personal all-time favorite Megadeth songs, is Time the Beginning. It's a beautiful acoustic piece that I love to play and sing whenever I'm just playing my acoustic guitar lying around the house. But a lot of fans never heard this song because a lot of them didn't give this album a chance. At least it's not covered in Cowjit. This album contains probably my most hated and the worst song in the entire Megadeth discography, the title track. When I said to an extent, this was that extent. I loathe this song with a passion. As far as the rest, it's solid. Some truly great thrash and 90s groove moments in this one. Some emotional ones too. Forget to Remember comes to mind as one of the, heavy hitting, really heavy in the lyrics department. The guest appearance of David Draymond in Dance in the Rain, partnered with the old school Killing Is My Business style riff, is what makes this song my favorite on the album. Famously known for being rushed by the label to get it out the door, it is filled to the brim with past songs, past demos, reworks of some old songs, complete redos of others, and songs from video games. But that's not a bad thing, really. We finally got a full version of New World Order that's fully produced. Black Swan, I think, was better in its original styling on United Abominations. That one, it fits the song better. Never Dead and Sudden Death are from video games, but those two songs are actually incredible. But my favorite song on this album is the completed version of Millennium of the Blind. It was one of my favorite demos from the remastered version of Euthanasia. It's just so damn good. Also, just because they used a riff from that demo in 1,000 Times Goodbye does not mean they weren't afraid to bring it back. Where it belongs. Best first album of the Big Four. Don't at me, bro. This album was heavier, faster, thrashier, more attitude, better solos, better hair, better drums, better talent, better song names, better songs that Dave wrote himself. Looking Down the Cross. That's my favorite. Home to possibly my favorite Megadeth instrumental. Shadow of Death is killer. Too bad My Kingdom wasn't a better follow-up. This album has always held a special place in my heart. It was a return to form for Megadeth, and the Live in Buenos Aires DVD was the first live DVD I actually purchased for myself. And this album was predominantly featured in that concert. That's the show that made me fall in love with Megadeth. Ever since then, it's been one of my most listened to albums. Is it one of their best? No, but its place in history and my personal history that makes it special. Favorite song is Die Dead Enough. It's a perfect song in my eyes. I feel Endgame doesn't get enough love. The album is fantastic, with one of the best opening sets in their entire repertoire. From start to finish, it's a great listen. No song here really stands out as a classic though, and that's why it finds itself in the middle of the pack. Because from here on out, the rankings get pretty tough. I was going to go with 44 Minutes as my favorite song from this album, but after thinking a bit, and after some back and forth, it goes to The Right to Go Insane. The song is a blast to play, especially the second half where it picks up. The only way to play that thing is down picking. Try it. The mid-90s classic. Growing up, I heard Trust all the time on KSJO and The Bone. Little I know back then, they'd become my favorite band. I didn't even know who they were back then. I was like 6. The remaster to me for this one is actually a lot better. They reworked some of the songs and took out kind of annoying little guitar effects, and has the original versions of FFF and Sin, Bullprick and Evil Less Within, respectively. I actually feel like those versions are better than the songs that were released on the album itself. You can hear the transition when Dave was going from metal to kind of poppier stuff. This album has some solid classics, and it still has some thrashy songs. Almost Honest is my pick for this one. The follow-up and improved sounds on P-Cells. This album is a favorite to a lot of fans. To me, it's number 6. Like I said back in Endgame, the top of these rankings are extremely close. If somehow you've never heard this album, you need to go out and change that right now. The riffs and drums of this one are legendary, and Dave was fine-tuning his voice of what he wanted it to be. Good Morning Black Friday is my choice for this one, but The Conjuring is a very close second. A curveball to start off the top 5. UA came out in the middle of my high school years, just as I was developing into the metalhead I would become. Perfect timing for an album like this. It was a true return to form for them, more so even than System Has Failed, and it's the first album with the Drover brothers. Beginning to end, it's a fun, high-paced ride. Even a Tout Le Monde is fast. Burnt Ice is my pick, and I don't feel like it gets enough love as a classic it should be. The Big Four. Euthanasia is probably the most cohesive release in the entire discography. Slow, melodic, and groovy riffs that still grab your attention. This was the most vocally driven album, and Dave's voice was on point in this one. They experimented to great success here. Not much else to say other than I love this album to death. Favorite song being a Tout Le Monde holds a very, very special and sentimental place in my heart for multiple reasons. Before I get into the top 3, I have to say it was a major toss-up in the top. Mostly for 2 and 3. I'm pretty confident in my number 1. 2 and 3 are interchangeable depending on the day, but there's some factors that I will get into, and it's why I have it the way it is. Be prepared to hate me. The greatest thrash album of all time, highly regarded as Megadeth's best album. And to that, I'd agree. It is. Then why is it number 3? I told you my explanation when the intro would come in handy. The musical mastery on display in this one, especially the duo of Dave and Marty, is second to none. It's a flawless album, except for one thing. Dave's voice. Not at all times, of course. I love the aggressive style he usually has. It's when he goes for the high notes, predominantly shown in Tornado Souls and Five Magics. It does just no. Everyone knows Dave is not the best vocalist, but nobody else could ever sing for Megadeth. It would not sound right. Favorite song on this one, and what I regard as the greatest Megadeth song of all time, Holy War's The Punishment Due. The most recent album, my surprise at number 2. I'll say it up front, I prefer Dave's older, more mature vocals. He has more control in this range, and it fits the lower tuned guitars they do now. After the disappointment that Super Collider was, this was another true return to form. And with new guitarist Kiko Loureiro, who is damn good by the way, and Chris Adler providing the drums, it was a recipe for success, and it delivered. Start to finish, there is not a down moment here. This album was a return of thrash and the grooves in the 90s albums, perfectly melted together. It's like Dave pulled all the music from all his albums and just made one album to just celebrate it all. Poisonous Shadows is my pick in this one, for the orchestral openings, the melodic chorus, and the really chuggy main riff. Greatness. And that just leaves my personal uncontested champion of the Megadeth album rankings. This one has it all. Thrash, groove, great vocals, crushing drums, screaming guitars, cryptic and not so cryptic lyrics, and it goes on and on and on and on. This is definitely the album I've revisited more than any of the other ones. And that's because it's not just a masterpiece in metal, it's a masterpiece in music overall. They're at their peak here, and they deliver classic after classic after classic. And it's perfect start to finish. Oh, you wanted a favorite? Well, it's the whole damn thing. I can't pick one. I guess if I really had to, it'd be Ashes in Your Mouth. If you have somehow never managed to hear this album, what the hell are you doing? Stop watching this video now, go and listen to it right now. Like, now. Thank you for checking out my Megadeth album rankings. Comment below any albums you think I should check out. While you're down there, give me one of these, please. It helps me out. Click up here to check out my review of Carnivore from Body Count. Click up here to see what YouTube picked out for you. They know best. And if you'd be so kind, click right here to subscribe to my channel. And ring that bell to be notified of any of my future videos. Till then, name's David, but you can call me Fenrirock.
Over the span of the last few months, I've ranked every single Megadeth song, all the way from the best to the worst. And what that's led us to, ranking all the Megadeth albums again. For those who are here way back when my channel first started, and for those who are new, welcome. Right here, I ranked every Megadeth album to my personal preference of what I felt I liked the most. And now today, we're finishing the journey of me ranking every Megadeth song of all time by re-ranking the albums based on my song rankings. To go over how the rankings of these albums will work, I got the song list, went through every single one. I had a huge formula I did. I have to show you the page, but it's a lot. To run it down, here's what I did. I got all the songs from the albums, added them together from the scores of what they're ranking. So like, Holy Wars was 1, and add the songs where they rank together. So 1, 25, 74. Added all the songs up, averaged them out in the album, and the albums got a score. And I ranked the albums based on those scores. Some albums you think they have less songs that have an advantage. That is true, but at the same time you gotta think, sure, it's a shorter album, but if it has enough great songs, overall it's going to be a better experience. That is basically how it is. It's not about quantity, it's about quality in what you get. So without further ado, here is the rankings of every Megadeth album of all time. At 15, even though it had a song in the top 10, is Risk. Had a total score of 1587, it averaged 144.2, dropping into the bottom. As you can see on this list, every single ranking is how it is, and if I have a note to put in, I put the note on there. So its top song was Time the Beginning, was at number 6, but also had a low song at Time the End, which was only 3 spots from the bottom. When I did the original rankings, the song was 13, so it did drop, not too far, and the original favorite stayed the same, Time the Beginning. I still will always adore that song. And the big note from this one is it had the largest spread. It had 173 as a low song, but 6 as its highest. That's crazy. Super spread, but again, the album, I will admit, is not the biggest of quality. It's still not a bad album. I still love it, but by my scores, it's number 15. Alright, next up at 14, we have The World Needs a Hero, with a total of 1707 and an average of 131.3. Top song was Motorcycle at number 71, and its lowest song was Coming Home at 172. Originally, I had it ranked as my least favorite. It moved up one spot. Good job. I guess overall in the end, I did like a lot of songs on this, much more than Risk, but at the end of the day, it had the lowest ranked best song. 71 is not good for a best song. My favorite song though, originally on this ranking, I said my favorite song was Motorcycle. Originally back then, if you go back and watch my original rankings of the Megadeth albums, I ended each one with saying what my favorite song of the album was. Back then, I said it was When, but it's Motorcycle. At 13, we have Super Collider with a total of 1,222. It's a lot of twos, averaging a nice simple 111. Top song ranked at 33 after deliberating was Forget to Remember. That song is intense. I've always loved that song. I actually was recently looking through my Facebook memories, and back when this album first came out, I said this song was intense, and well, it stayed the same since then. That was 8 years ago. Lowest song though was Super Collider, because I hate Super Collider. The song is cringy. The video is just as cringy. Originally ranked at 12, it dropped one space. I believe it so. That's not much of a shift, so it's where in my heart, I was close. Overall, I averaged in my head without even knowing I did it. Originally, my favorite song was Dance in the Rain, and Dance in the Rain actually ended up being the fourth favorite song from this album after re-ranking them. It's funny how that shifts, huh? And the biggest note on this one, like I said, it had the worst song. At 12, we have the album that was almost perfectly placed, 13. Total score of 1309, averaging a nice even 100. Top song that was ranked hasn't changed from my original rankings. A Millennium the Blind, it ranked at 18. Slowest song was Wrecker, it's 156. Not a bad song. I've said before, I don't hate any Megadeth song other than Super Collider, but some I just like more than others, and this is a perfect example of that. It's not a bad song, but it's not the greatest. At number 11, we have Cryptic Writings, which is actually tied for the farthest drop of my original rankings. It originally ranked number 7. It fell 4 spots. It's tied with another album we'll get to later. Had a total of 1254, averaging a 96.4, which sounds like a great radio station. It's only one off from being 96.5 KOIT. It's almost Christmas time. The top ranked song was She-Wolf at 35, and the lowest song was I'll Get Even, 166. Originally, my favorite song on this was Almost Honest. It fell to number 2 on the albums for this album, and well, I still love that song, but She-Wolf is just, it's a thrash song on a non-thrash album, and it's fantastic. At number 10, we have The System Has Failed, with a total of 1,024, averaging a nice even 93, even though it's actually an odd number. Don't math me. Top song hasn't changed one bit. Die Dead Enough, ranked pretty damn high at number 20. To be 20 of 175 songs, that's a high praise. Low song is I Know Jack. It's not much of a song. That's the only reason why it's that low, and probably held this album back. But hey, like I said, you need to have all quality. If one song is kind of a bad egg, it can ruin your entire score. Prime example. It originally ranked 9 in my old video. Didn't fall very far. At number 9, we have United Abominations, the other album that tied Cryptic Writings for falling the furthest. I defend this album. I say it's super underrated, but apparently to my own rankings, it's not even in the top half. Scored it 850, which averages out to 85. Nice even numbers. I appreciate nice even numbers. And his favorite song didn't change. Burnt Ice, the most underrated Megadeth song of all time. Quote me on that. I don't care if I ever say anything otherwise. The lowest rated song was You're Dead, 164. That song is never, it's kind of dead to me. But yeah, it originally ranked at number 5. It fell all the way down to 9. This is the prime example of, yes, even though in my heart I feel I love an album so much more than others, other songs do drag it down. You're going to see a great example of this coming up soon. At number 8, So Far, So Good. So what? This is the prime example I'm talking about. I swore up and down I don't really like this album, but I guess if you take the individual tracks apart from the album, it ends up being a fantastic album, which to me, I guess in my heart says it doesn't make for good, but hey, the songs speak for themselves. They brought the album all the way up. It's just, it was 14 originally, brought it all the way up to 8. That is a pretty massive leap, and I do love this album, I guess. And I gotta put in the notes, parts better than the sum. You take out the songs, I love all the songs, but you put them together. I think what it is the way this album's mixed. It has a kind of harsh essence to it, and just at a full length, I don't like it listening front to back. If you take out the songs, I love the tracks. Favorite song is still Hook and Mouth, ranked 28 on the rankings. I love that song. Lowest was 502. Kind of wish I had 502 songs to rank it, but it's at 151. Another one that dropped a surprising amount for me, Euthanasia. I love this album, but apparently to me, it's also barely in the top half at number 7, with a total score of 1,005, averaging 77.3. Top song ended up being Euthanasia. It was originally a Tout Le Monde. It's now the second favorite song on this album. But yeah, because Euthanasia is undeniable. I've explained this in the song rankings. It's monstrous. The riffs are hard and they hit you in the face. Lowest song was Absolution. It definitely dragged down the rankings, but hey, you put the song on the album, it brings on the rankings. That's just how it goes. At number 6, we have Endgame, totaling 760, evening out to 76 on the average. Originally, my favorite song was Right to Go Insane. It ended up actually being the third favorite track on the album. Cause after going over the albums again, I just cannot deny how much of an impact Head Crusher actually had on my youth. This song crushed my head, and it was fun. Lowest song was How the Story Ends. The song is just alright. It's actually kind of a high for low because it's almost 40 spots higher than the lowest ranked song. That's a good place to be. It originally ranked 8, so it actually jumped up 2 spaces. Good job, Endgame. Good job. The album I originally had ranked number 2 drops to number 5, averaging 74.5 with a total score of 820. I love Dystopia. I defend this album. I know apparently a lot of fans actually don't like this album that much. Kiko's playing is amazing. Dave's vocals are at my kind of prefer, his mid kind of old man growly voice. I like the old man growly voice. Okay. Top song is still the same for me. Poisonous Shadows. Lowest song is The Emperor. That song is kind of weird. I like it, but it's weird. But yeah, it dropped 3 spots to number 5. Still top 5 album though. For being in the top 5, that's an accomplishment in itself. I cannot wait for the new album to come out though. Please hurry up on that. Who's gonna play bass? The song I swear up and down is the greatest thrash album of all time. I stand by those words, damn it. Is ranked number 4. Even in my original rankings, I still ranked it number 3. For an explanation of how that goes, let Past Me explain.
I like to explain something real fast. It's a thought process of what you think is the best and what you like the best. Example being, I personally think Led Zeppelin is the greatest band of all time. However, they do not have my favorite song of all time, nor are they my favorite band. My favorite band is actually a tie between Styx and Megadeth, depending on my mood of the day. So do either of them have my favorite song? Nope, that belongs to December from Collective Soul. Do I feel like it's the greatest song of all time? No. No, I do not. I think you get what I'm getting at.
Had total score of 570, averaging 57. Top rated song is still the same, Holy Wars. It's the number 1 overall song, but just goes to show that even though you have the number 1 song does not mean you're safe from being dragged down. Dawn Patrol, while it's a great song, it doesn't rank above many others. It's at 147. It actually originally ranked 3, so it actually dropped a space. That's honestly surprising. And it just goes to show low songs can bring down your score, and well, I guess technically bring up your score in the averaging sense. You know what I mean. You know how these things work. It's like golf. Low score wins. I still say this is the greatest thrash album of all time, but it's not the number 1 album. Move on. Next up, we have the most improved album on the entire list at number 3, Killing Is My Business, and business is going okay. Jumping all the way from number 10 to number 3. That's crazy. I explained the old ones. I love the album, but to me it doesn't measure up to the others, but apparently I'm wrong. Total score of 423, averaging out 52.8. Top song is Mechanics. Nostalgia when going through all these songs again just reared its ugly head. When put this song at number 2, it deserves to be there. My original favorite song was Looking Down the Cross. It went to number 2 on the album. Still adore that song. Back on my original rankings, I said this was uncontested, but it's number 2, Countdown to Extinction. This was the huge upset for me. I thought it'd be number 1. It was originally ranked number 1. I adore this album to hell, but it dropped. Architecture Regression being ranked 129, which is still a super high ranked lowest song, was enough to drag it down below the number 1 spot. Even Ashes in Your Mouth, which is still the favorite song from the original rankings, is number 3. That's in the top 3. That's super high. You can't get much higher than number 3. But it just goes to show that I guess the vast amount, maybe it just had too many lower ranking songs than the ones in front of it that drag it down. That's how averages work, dumbass. But yeah, we have a surprise Cinderella story for the number 1. And those who noticed, who even commented saying they like this album the most. And I, didn't put it that high compared to this. Well, I eat my own words. I admit defeat. I eat my own words because Peace Sells takes the number 1 spot with a total score of 361 and an average of 45.1. It goes to show that yes, it's a shorter album, and well, the shorter album helped it, but it all has great quality. Favorite song on it was My Last Words, and it also goes to show that how condensed it is of not having too many songs are all so ranked high because so many songs are amazing. The highest ranked song was only number 7, and that's pretty significantly lower than the last 2 albums on this list. It had the highest ranked worst song. I think that's what helped it out the most here. The highest ranked worst song at 120 was I Ain't Superstitious. That is 55 whole spots from the bottom. And then most of the songs on this, if you saw the episodes, there was I think 3 in the in 10 to 20, and there's 2 songs in the top 10. It's crazy, but hey, it all adds up to being the #1 album of all time from Megadeth. My words, not my own. I argued with myself on this one. I ranked it at number 6 originally, and it went all the way up to number 1. Just goes to show the quality on that album. That was quality. It's insane. And I said reasons why I didn't rank it higher. But hey, I ate my own words. I'm blabbering. No one likes me blabbering. But hey, we are done with this finally. It took a long time. Thank you guys for sticking with me, being patient when I had downtimes and not being able to get the episodes up. We stuck through it together. Thank you guys wholeheartedly. Please consider, if you watch this one, you're new here, consider subscribing. I'm going to keep doing this series. The next one was originally going to be Styx, but with them deciding to drop a new album a day before my birthday, we have a new one coming up next. It's something that was requested, highly requested by a, ongoing viewer, and I thank you, sir, for being here from the beginning of this. So, without further ado, I announce the next series, ranking every... Yes, we're doing the Judas Priest rankings. It's going to take a bit longer for that one. Please bear with me. We're going to take a few weeks off from this series. Give me time to put it together. I have them all ready to go. I just got to sit down, listen to every single song, put them where I feel best, put those together. Coming soon, folks, within the next few weeks. It's going to be a journey. Please take that journey with me. For I am Fenrirock. Please stay with me. Be part of the clan. Be part of my shield wall, and we will destroy our enemies. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm gonna go watch Vikings now, I guess, even though I'm done with the show. Vikings might be in the next epic rap battles of history. That's kind of something to look forward to. If you're here, you're used to this nonsense. You're used to dealing with me being stupid, blathering, not making any goddamn sense. It's fun, though. It's why you're here, right? I hope. Do you hate me? I hate me sometimes. I really do. You guys deserve to be here with me. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what I meant. That sounds so pretentious. Pretentious nose slap. What am I doing? Why are you still here? Just stay tuned. I have a video coming out Sunday. It's going to be writing down what the future of the channel is going to be. Stay tuned for the future Judas Priest rankings. 6 to follow, hopefully. After that, probably do Metallica. After Metallica, I'll do something. Suggestions. Who do you want to see? Who do you think is going to get reviewed? Give me albums to review. Classic albums. Reaction reviews. Why are you still here? You're still... Go home. I'm home. I'm in the creation corner. I'm losing my mind.